A warm welcome to our YouTube channel Divine Race. Indeed, I am so glad to meet you all on this online platform. I am Sister Manju Lakra SSPS. Today, I am inspired to talk to you on the theme Human Rights. We all of us are well aware that 10th December is observed as Human Rights Day every year to commemorate the day the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. I feel much urged to observe this day since we have many sources commencing from our sacred scripture itself. Isaiah 1:17 says, "Learn to do good, seek justice, correct oppression, bring justice to the fatherless, plead the widow's cause." God in the Old Testament clearly conveys to us our responsibilities towards human rights, and it is vivid when we read in the New Testament Luke 4:18 and 19, the manifestation of Jesus and our mission. Through the very lives of our founding generation, they have beckoned us to uphold and promote rights of everyone. While this day is observed, we also keep in mind our 9th provincial chapter recommendation, that is, we become ambassadors to practice and promote gospel, human and fundamental values in all our ministries. Keeping this in focus, we read the supporting materials and update ourselves, promote human rights, address emerging issues and disseminate information. Inspired by these fundamental foundations, I am sure we the SSPS do defend the rights of everyone. We express our support for those who are committed to protecting and promoting human rights. But let us not be satisfied with these. It is painful to know that millions of children, women, and the elderly are living in poverty and destitution in India and around the world with no hope of a better future. Their rights are violated. Let this day be a reminder for all of us that there is still an enormous gap between the universal rights enshrined and the situation in India and around the world. Let us become ambassadors and defenders of the voiceless.
Human Rights Day theme for 2020 is Recover Better, Stand Up for Human Rights, which relates to the COVID-19 pandemic and focuses on the need to build back better by ensuring human rights are central to recovery efforts. We will reach our common global goals only if we are able to create equal opportunities for all, address the failures exposed and exploited by COVID-19, and apply human rights standards to tackle entrenched, systematic and intergenerational inequalities, exclusion and discrimination. Human rights document has inspired countries and people alike to start treating every person with the right to life, liberty, property and the pursuit of happiness. On Human Rights Day, we acknowledge the importance of this document and the importance of human rights. 10th December is an opportunity to reaffirm the importance of human rights in rebuilding the world we want, the need for global solidarity as well as our interconnectedness and shared humanity. The preamble of the Indian Constitution reflects the inspiring ideals with the specific mention of dignity of individual. India has access to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as well as to the subsequent international covenants of economic, social and cultural rights and civil and political rights adopted by the General Assembly of the United Nations. Justice, human rights and social needs must be at the heart of all ministries, and so justice, peace and integrity of creation must be nurtured as part of the SSP's identity. JPIC should become part of our daily living. Today, we are more sensitive to the importance of interrelationships, and so we would like to strengthen collaboration with other groups equally committed to justice, peace and integrity of creation. We recognize as well as the urgency to enliven collaboration among ourselves with the like-minded people and organizations. This unity gives us more energy and creativity to transform unjust structures. While we seek the transformation of systems and structures, we also recognize the significance of our day-to-day gestures of care for the earth, others and one another. These experiences help us to humanize the social fabric, which in turn allows us to move towards global transformation. We see JPIC as a way of life and feel called to discern and transform our way of being and doing. It is encouraging to note that we have initiated right-based approach in our involvement with the people of rural and urban areas by Uday Social Development Society and Madhya Pradesh Domestic Workers Movement. In the rural areas, the people are participating in the village level meetings and seek information and clarification regarding various welfare schemes and programs. Madhya Pradesh Domestic Workers Movement, which was started in 2006, continued to do lobbying and advocacy, demanding for recognition of domestic workers for the hard labor they do. The movement joins with the National Domestic Workers Movement and the National Platform for Domestic Workers at the various occasions demanding for separate law for domestic workers. We continue to be part of the struggle of domestic workers for justice. This big workforce has to be recognized by the government. Their work should have legal binding. The domestic workers have become aware of their rights to a great extent and demand for just wages. Being part of their struggle, I realize that they have a deep desire to be treated with dignity and respect. I consider their profession as great as any other profession. If one day the domestic workers would go on strike, people of the city will come to a standstill. I am hopeful that our struggle to bring justice for the domestic workers will bear fruit one day. I extend our solidarity and support to lakhs of farmers in their protest for their rights. We join in the protest rallies in the city and submit memorandum. May the Human Rights Day enable us to stand for basic human rights of every human being, especially the marginalized group of the society. Let us become aware of the human rights and make others aware of it. लड़ेंगे जीतेंगे।